all the criticism, saying, quote, when you play like poo, you should get talked about like that. So, Acho, do you have faith in the Steelers bouncing back against the Colts?
I have as much faith in the Steelers bouncing back as I do you getting me a Christmas gift. At this point, we all 45 minutes left in the show before Christmas, and I don't see no gifts. Now, mind you, I didn't get you one. But
I'm about to say,
I'm leveling expectations. Okay, I didn't get you one. Okay, but that's how much faith I have. But in all seriousness, I ain't got faith in the Steelers fixing their issues against the Colts because the Steelers aren't worried about the right issue, so they can't bounce back. So for so long after I left the NFL, I had knee pain right under that knee joint, whatever it is. My knee was hurting. I would wear the bands around your knee. I would foam roll my kneecaps. Then I finally went to a physical therapist. He said, Acho, the issue isn't at your kneecap. The issue, you have a tight IT band. That's that hip. And right there at the side of your leg, it rolls into the front of your knee. I was focused on the wrong issue, so I couldn't fix the problem. Steelers.
I like.
Y'all focused on Juju dancing, TikTok dancing. Like, y'all focused on the wrong things. How can you fix a problem if you're focused on the wrong issue? Let's talk about the real issue, which also can't be fixed, but that's Big Ben and how he's declining. Just look at the last 4 games, people. Completion percentage, Ravens to Washington, the Bills to the Bengals, y'all gonna see it, declining each and every week from 70% to 62 to 56 to 52. And now you're about to play the Indianapolis Colts that rank 7th in total defense. Big Ben's going the wrong way. The Colts defense stands up here, and y'all expect me to believe that they can bounce back? I just don't see it. If the Steelers were focused on the right issue, I think they could fix the problem. But if I had been focused on my kneecap, I probably would have gotten healthier sooner. Or the IT band, I would have been healthier sooner. But as long as you focused on the wrong issues, you can't fix the problem.
Hard to push back against that. Strong. I think they're going to bounce back. But let me talk about the fact that they were addressing something, because you keep saying they're focused on it. You've been in the NFL before.
Yes, sir.
From the outside, oh my God, the whole conversation is Juju dancing. But on the inside, we sitting there like, what? We never talk about that. Like, Juju went to Thomas' office. Thomas said, dude, it ain't worth it. Like nothing wrong with it, but it's not worth it. Stop it. It's a national story on the outside, and we're not even thinking about that. So I think this team is a team that obviously in their decline right now, or their drought in terms of the win-loss column, we're starting to exaggerate. We're starting to be hypercritical. And we can't forget that this horrible, terrible quarterback you were saying in decline in Ben Roethlisberger is right now on pace to match his career high in passing touchdowns. Could this be the best version of Ben Roethlisberger we've ever seen in totality? I asked you that, Acho. As it stands, it will be his 4th time eclipsing 30 touchdowns or more in his career. Big Ben, a future Hall of Famer, 4th time doing this, Acho. But it's about their defense. One team in the NFL could say, no one has scored 30 points on us this year. By coincidence, it's the Steelers, right, in this conversation. So, Acho, what I don't want to happen, because we're going to do our show different, because we're different. We don't have a referee in the middle of us who never played. It's like, so what do you think, Acho? Marcel's, we're not playing that. We're going to keep it real. On the outside, Juju talk. On the inside, Steelers get better talk.
Fair.
And this is a team that is still poised to go out there and do it.
Well, then let's just talk realistically about the numbers then. If we're not going to talk all the semantics and the gyrations, let's lose all that. What about the fact that, you watched that game against the Bengals Monday night, if I'm not mistaken. May have been Sunday night. My day is all confused right now.
Yeah.
You watched that game. Out of their first 8 possessions, the Steelers versus the Bengals, 7 3-and-outs. The one that wasn't a 3-and-out, well, 2 weren't 3-and-outs. One ended in a fumble. Another ended in an interception. That was against the Bengals. If I'm looking at this Steelers team that's on the decline, that played the Bengals, and out of your first 8 possessions had 7 3, like, that's hard to do. It's hard for an offense to have 7 3-and-outs, let alone against the defense in the Bengals that's 23rd in the National Football League. So when I look at the Steelers, now you about to play a better defense. You're getting worse. You struggled against the bad defense. Sal, you remind me of that dude, and the true story. I was at a casino one time. I ain't told a casino story in a while. I miss him.
You saw Idris Elba there? I remind you of who? What you say? Billy D?
No.
Still alive?
I was at the casino, Sal, and I'm sitting at this table. A dude walks up. He puts $1,500 down. He loses that hand. He says, forget it. Pulls out another wad of cash. Puts $3,000 down.
Damn.
True story, loses that hand. Forget it. Pulls out $6,000. Puts $6,000 down. He loses that hand. I'm like, yo, you need to get up.
One hand every time?
Every time. Forget it. Puts $12,000 down. He was just doubling every time.
What is he wearing to have all this money?
The richest people come in nothing. Loses that hand. Finally, he just leaves. Just leaves. Don't say nothing. He gets upset and leaves. Lost about $20-something thousand.
Hell yeah.
But the thing was, he was just betting mindlessly, hoping that the next hand would win, with no actual logic or strategy as to doing that. You remind me of that guy right now. Think about it. Steelers, they lose against Ben Roethlisberger, 70% completion percentage. But then the next week, Washington, 62% completion percentage. They lose that hand. Then the Bills, 56% completion percentage. They lose that hand. Then the Bengals, 52% completion percentage. They lose that hand. Now against the Colts, you're taking out $12,000 and saying, figuratively, of course, putting that money down like, yeah, they're going to beat the Colts.
Yeah.
So you have no logic, no reason to think that.
Now, you know I'm not gambling. You know I'm not a gambler. Right. Now, if you had said he ordered 97 bottles at the club, that's me. I'm doing too much. Let's drink our money away. That said, damn, let me talk to you real about this. Ben Roethlisberger got bored with success. I know how it goes. I could tell it by his numbers, and I could tell it by just his team's composition. Why did he get bored with success? Because he started to hear people saying that, Ben, you're killing it this year, dinking and dunking. You're killing it this year, dinking and dunking. And you know what Ben said? Well, let me show you with my repaired elbow. And that's what happened. And Tomlin, I bet, is like, hey, dog, stop playing down to your competition as well as getting disturbed by people saying you can't throw the deep ball. Two things happening at once is why this team looked like the last 3 weeks it's imploding of sort. But I'm going to push back on you, Acho, and say this. When teams play down to their competition, that's a misdemeanor, not a felony. A lot of people think that's a felony, but I will push back on anybody who says that and say, look, coach, who are we going to play in the playoffs? Are we playing the Bengals? Are we going to sit there as you did earlier in this show? Well, Patrick Mahomes got to play the Falcons, and he plays the Chargers. Add his stats. Who doesn't think that way? But as a competitor, as someone who respects their opponents, you can never go into a game like, this is JV versus us. You got caught up in the same thing I think the Steelers did. They played down a little bit to the competition, at least that Cincinnati game. All that said, I think they're going to right their wrongs because they're too talented and they started too fast. Congratulations to the 5 winners who split the...